hiding. And so the universe then has no choice. First attribute of the secret place. The secret place is a place of revelation. It makes you free because it awakens you and makes you consciously aware that everything that you thought was holding you is an illusion. Hello, everybody. Hello, and welcome to the Emerge movement, where we are empowering people on their journey towards spiritual wholeness. I'm your host, Isaac J. Miles Sr., and I'm so glad that you decided to join us tonight. I'm excited as we continue our preparation for the 90 days of abundance. We're beginning on September the 1st. We're just a few short days away where we'll begin this 90 days of abundance plan that is going to revolutionize your life for the better. This shift in consciousness, shift in perspective, shift in your expectation is going to change your lived experience and cause you to begin to experience abundance in every facet of your life. As I've said before, and I'm going to keep saying it as we are leading up to the beginning of this plan, if you follow this plan to the letter, if you follow the instructions strategically and accurately, that's not the word I'm searching for. If you follow it with discipline and do it exactly as, that's the word, exactly, you are guaranteed to begin to experience abundance in every part of your life. If you follow it exactly, follow the instructions without interruption, do it exactly as I'm telling you, and you are guaranteed to experience abundance in every single area of your life. You will experience abundance because you are abundance personified in three-dimensional form. And so we've already covered in parts 1 and part 2. In part 1, we laid out the structure and the foundation for the plan. In part 2, we began to give you the first 3 of the 10 statements of faith, okay? Or not statements of faith, but principles, rather. Statements of principles that have to do with abundance that we're going to be using as our tools as we go through this particular program. Tonight, we will continue with the next 3 of these 10 statements of principles, these practical principles that you are going to use to begin to manifest the abundance that is you. Now, all the videos are still up on all the platforms, all the pages on YouTube and all the Facebook pages. So if you missed any, you can go back and listen to those again, because I'm not going to repeat myself in repeating the information that we covered there. I'm going to spend the time tonight on these next 3 statements of principles as we move forward. And then we will get to the last 4 statements of principles on Sunday at 9 a.m. And then on Thursday at 6:30 a.m., we will launch into the 90 days of abundance. Thursday, September the 1st, all the way through November the 29th. Now, for the first 10 days of the 90 days of abundance, I'm going to come on the air live every morning at 6:30 for 15 minutes to do a guided meditation on on the principle that we're focused on for that day. There are 10 principles. I'm going to do it for 10 days. After that, I'll leave those up on the page, and you can go back and, as you repeat the principles, use that guided meditation all the way through the 90 days. If you missed the instruction phase, where I gave you the specific instructions on how to use these principles, then you can inbox me if you're on Facebook, or you can send me an email to this email address that you see on your screen. Ask for the outline or the specific instructions, and I will gladly email them to you. As well as you can go back and pull up the video. It would be part 1, and watch it again and hear a detailed explanation of those instructions as well. So, but if you want to have that in hand, then all you have to do is inbox me or email me. If you inbox me with your email address, and I will email them out to you in long form so that you will have them, and you'll be able to make sure you stick to the plan exactly. It is imperative that you follow the plan exactly as you are told to follow it. If you break it, if you miss a day, if you err in it, then you need to start over, because it is imperative and mandatory that you continue for 90 days continuously. Okay, not 7 days, 10 days, 20 days, not even 49 days or 89 days. It's imperative and mandatory that you complete the 90 days. Okay, and why that is all in the first video. Go back and rewatch the first video if you don't know why that's important, but it is important if you want this to work for you. I guarantee it will work. You don't need a blessed handkerchief, a blessed cloth, a blessed penny, no candles. You don't need no miracle spring water or somebody to lay hands on you, none of these other gimmicks and games and trinkets that people are doing. All you need is this information and to complete this exercise. If you will do this for the 90 days, it will revolutionize your life in every facet of your life. That's a guarantee. That is an absolute guarantee. I absolutely know that this works. You just simply have to follow through. Okay? All right. So we're going to get ready for the next 3. Are you guys ready? Everybody ready? Good to see all of you that are on. If you haven't said hello already, do so in the comments. Just do a quick hello in the comments. You don't have to say anything else, but just to let me know that you're out there. I see the numbers, but I'd like to see you in the comments as well. Okay? Just say hello. How you doing? Or I'm here. Or hurry up, man, so we can go. Or whatever it is that you feel like you want to do. All right. So this is going to be good. We're going to get into the next 3. You ready? Y'all ready? Oh yeah, Toya, I definitely know you here. you tagged 100 people. Oh yeah, please tag and share. Tag and share this video on your page. Do that for me right now before we even get started into the next 3 principles. Take a moment and tag and then share. Share this video on your page and like the video as well. Let me get some likes, some hearts, and loves and reactions, because the more you react to the video, the more that it's seen, that the algorithm kicks in and you'll start seeing the video more and more on different pages. So I need for you guys to like this video as well. Do that with every one of them. Like it, share it, tag it, so that we're able to get as many people informed about the platform that we can, and we'll grow this platform together. Okay, so go ahead and do that right now. I hope you've already been doing it while I'm talking. I'm going to talk for about maybe 10 or 15 more seconds while you are sharing and you are liking and you are tagging in the comments. Then we'll get right into those next 3 of those principles. Okay, the next 3 of those principles, and then during the course of these 90 days, when I'm coming on for our regularly scheduled empowerment sessions, then I'm going to be discussing different things around abundance, and in that vein for the next 90 days in our regular empowerment sessions. There's a lot of things that I want to let you in on. I want to get you in on crystals, and we're going to talk about sage, and we're going to talk about other herbs, and we're going to talk about incantations and mantras and other things of this sort that you can use to aid you as well in your abundance. All of it is absolutely accurate and powerful. So we're going to get into a whole lot of different things, healing herbs and other things of this sort that you can use during the course of these 90 days. So this whole experience is just going to be powerful. You don't want to miss not one single solitary empowerment session during the course of these 90 days. You absolutely do not want to miss. And so just to be sure that you don't miss, then make sure you sign up for the free text notification. It's scrolling at the bottom of the screen right now. All you have to do is text the word emerge to 833-444-0163, and you'll automatically be enrolled. And every time I get ready to come on live, you'll get a text sent to your phone, and it doesn't cost you a nickel, doesn't cost a dime. It's just an alert to let you know that we're coming on. That way you don't miss anything that we're doing here. So go ahead and do that now while you're watching as well. If you haven't already, go ahead and sign up for the free text notification. Use the information at the bottom of your screen and text the word emerge to the number 833-444-0163. Do that right now. Do it right now. Do it right now. Do it right now. Okay? All right. Good. All right, let's get it. So, 90 days of abundance. This is a practical plan to experience the abundant life. It is absolutely, positively the will, plan, and purpose of God for you to live in abundance, because you are abundance personified in 3-dimensional form. So, let's get to these next 3. This would be number 4 of the 10. Number 4. This principle says that through my consciousness of my God self, the Christ within, as my source, I draw into my mind and my feeling, and we're going to talk about that, both the mind and feeling nature, the very substance of spirit. This substance is my supply. Thus, my consciousness of the presence of God within me, as me, is my supply. Okay, let me read it again, then we'll unpack. Through my consciousness of my God self, the Christ within, as my source, I draw into my mind and feeling nature the very substance of spirit. This substance is my supply. Thus, my consciousness of the presence of God within me, as me, I'm adding that, is my supply. Let's unpack this now. Let's take a moment and unpack what this is saying here. Okay? Oh, okay. Wonderful. I didn't know you could put it on TV. Delana says she's going to go and put it on TV. Well, bless God. I'm on TV, y'all. All right, let's unpack this. Through my consciousness of my God self. Remember, we've already talked about this. My conscious awareness that I am not just a human trying to be spirit, but I am a spirit being human. I'm a spirit being that's being human, having a human experience. The Christ consciousness, the God consciousness within, that is my source. Okay? That God in me, as me, through me, is my source. Okay? Nothing else. God in me, through me, and as me, my God self, my God mind of Christ consciousness, that is the source. Everything emanates from me. As I said in our last encounter, abundance radiates and flows from me at a vibrational frequency. And when it hits the universe and nature, nature then in turn reflects my abundance back to me in three-dimensional form. So it says, I draw into my mind and feeling nature. Now let's unpack that for a moment. I draw into my mind, that is my conscious mind, my awareness, okay? I draw into my conscious mind, my conscious awareness. I am constantly replaying and reminding, remembering, reconstructing my thought life so that I recognize that the center of my source of abundance, of my source of substance, is spirit. That is me. Spirit is the source, and I am that spirit. Therefore, I am the spirit of abundance personified in three-dimensional form, and therefore abundance is not coming to me. I am not looking for abundance. I'm not trying to have abundance, find abundance, get abundance. I am recognizing that I am abundance. I am limitless. I am infinite. Excuse me. I am overflowing. I am abundance in three-dimensional form. I am abundance in animated form. I am abundance personified in form. I am abundance. It is important that you understand this, that I am not operating from the place of lack or want or scarcity or need. I am operating from the place of abundance, that I am fully cognizant and conscious of this, that I hold that truth in my mind as my most dominant thought, that I have no lack, I have no want, I have no need, I have no scarcity, that I operate from the mind and the place and space of abundance. Come on, take a moment and say that with me right now. I have no want, I have no lack, I have no need, I have no scarcity. I operate from the place and space of abundance. I am abundance. I am abundance personified. That's it. That's it. It's important that you operate from that place, because as long as you are operating from a mindset, a perspective, a point of view of want, and need and lack, then you will generate more want and need and lack. Why? Because if you're operating from that space, then that sets the frequency of your vibration. So you are sending out a vibrational frequency that is attuned and aligned with lack and want and need. And what is the universe and in all of nature's responsibility? To reflect back to you in three-dimensional form what is your most dominant thought, what you are emanating by way of vibrational frequency. So if you are thinking from that place of want and need and scarcity, if that is your mindset, then that will also dictate your conversation. You're going to speak in alignment with what you have accepted as your dominant thought. Your dominant thought or your truth is one of lack, scarcity, want, and need. So you will always find yourself saying, if I only had, I wish I had, I want, I need, I don't have this, and I can't have that, and I can't afford, because you are speaking in alignment with what you have accepted as your truth. And when your words and your thoughts align around that truth, then it also informs your actions. And so you start to act like you are in need, act like you're in want, act like, are you hearing what I'm saying? You're in scarcity. You have a needful, needy disposition. You act in needy ways, wanting ways, scarcity ways, lacking. It dictates your behavior. And therefore, the universe has no choice but to give you the manifestation of your creation. But when you shift your mindset, when you draw into your conscious mind that consciousness of God, my God self, my Christ self, being my source and supply, that I have no lack, no want, no need, no scarcity, then your words will align with that thought. And listen to me, I understand that this is more of a challenge than than just simply what I'm saying to you now. I realize, because for the majority of your life, if you grew up like I did, then you learned what they call survival skills. But what you learned was the language of poverty, the language of scarcity, the language of need, the language of lack. And so it is woven into the fabric of your everyday conversation. You catch yourself saying, I don't have, I need, I want, I don't have, I can't afford, I can't, all the time. You find yourself saying it and then acting in that way. You pinching pennies and holding on, and you become a hoarder of stuff and things and everything around you because you're so afraid that you're going to run out, that there's not an abundant supply. You're so afraid that you're going to, and here's the thing you fear the most comes upon you, because you end up running out anyway, no matter how much you keep trying to pinch and hold on. Are you hearing what I'm saying? And I'm not just talking about money. Remember, we've talked about this. Abundance it covers everything. Abundance of joy, abundance of love. Some of you so stingy with your love and with your heart and with your care and your concern. You guard it and you put up walls around it because you don't want to be hurt. You don't want to be let down. You don't want to be disappointed. You don't want to experience pain, and you're afraid that you might just run out of love, run out of compassion, run out of care. And so let me just hold on to this real tight and guard it as much as I can. And what do you end up doing? You end up losing it anyway. You end up losing it anyway. Are you hearing what I'm saying? Because you are operating from that place of scarcity and need and want and lack. So This principle says, draw into your mind and feeling nature the very substance of spirit. This substance is my supply. That substance of spirit is your supply. So your consciousness of the presence of God within you and as you is your supply. Now let me go back again. Draw into your mind and feeling nature. I said this before. Let me go back and just solidify this now. Let's talk about these feelings. Your feelings are what magnetize your thoughts. Let me say that again. Your feelings magnetize your thoughts. When you begin to employ your feelings, that is your emotions, your passions, yes, the feeling that is accompanies and corresponds to what is your most dominant thought, you magnetize that thought, you supercharge it, you accelerate the manifestation of what it is that you are holding as your dominant thought, because your feelings express your expectation. Whew. Let me say that again. Your feelings express your expectation. When you begin to bring in and employ and draw up the corresponding feelings of abundance to match the thoughts of abundance that you have, it then creates a charge, like an electric charge, to that vibrational frequency, accelerating the return of the manifestation of that dominant thought. Your feelings, oh my goodness, if you have the dominant thought of I am and I possess an abundance of joy, and then draw up the corresponding feelings of joy, exuberance, excitement to match that thought, watch how quickly it begins to turn around and manifest in three-dimensional form, that your whole perception changes, your conversation changes, your actions change, your perspective broadens and expands and shifts to align itself with what you have matched the corresponding feelings to. It draws like a magnet. When you began to, when you began to match the thought with a corresponding feeling, that feeling tone gives fire to your vibration. It gives fire to the image. It gives magnetization to the thought, the idea, the thing that you desire to see manifested in your three-dimensional life. Yes. So the feelings of abundance, abundance of wealth, abundance of money, an abundance of peace, an abundance of love, an abundance of joy, an abundance of health. Your body will align itself with the truth that you have accepted as your truth, its truth, and then you draw into it the corresponding feelings. Oh, yes, when you draw them up by even telling yourself and affirming yourself, I feel good, I feel great, I feel wonderful, I feel strong, I feel strong and healthy and mighty. Your body says, amen, and begins to come into alignment because you have magnetized the thoughts of abundance of health. Are you understanding what I'm saying to you? I'm trying not to get too excited. Let me calm down. I'm getting hyper. Okay? Your feelings are the expression of expectation. Whoa! It's the anticipation of the manifestation of what it is that you desire. So I draw into my conscious mind, creating a dominant thought of spirit as the substance of spirit, rather, as my supply. And then I also summon up the corresponding feelings of spirit, the substance of spirit as my supply, that there is no lack, want, need, or scarcity. And I begin to feel and move and in my rhythm and vibration. Yes, I create a new rhythm of abundance in my movement, in my words, the cadence of my words, the cadence of my step, the gait of my movement shifts and begins to create a rhythm of abundance that matches what I have held as my dominant thought, and it accelerates the manifestation thereof. This substance, the substance of spirit, the abundance of spirit, the spirit that has no lack, no need, no want, no scarcity, that spirit is your supply. Thus, your consciousness, your awareness of the presence of God in you and through you and as you is your supply. It is your supply. And we're going to go to principle 5 because principle 5 actually reinforces principle 4. Are you ready? Here's principle 5. Money is not my supply. No person, place, or condition is my supply. The Spirit of God within me, as me, is the source of my supply. My awareness, understanding, and knowledge of the all-providing activity of the divine mind within me is my supply. My consciousness of this truth is unlimited. Therefore, my supply is unlimited. I'm going to read it again and then we're going to unpack. Whoa, this is exciting. I'm telling you. Are you excited? I'm excited. If you can't tell, I'm really excited. I'm trying my hardest to hold the reins so I don't start yelling and just getting hype and going off. I'm excited. Money is not my supply. No person, place, or condition is my supply. The Spirit of God within me, as me, is the source of my supply. My awareness, understanding, and knowledge of the all-providing activity of the divine mind within me is my supply. My consciousness of this truth is unlimited. It's infinite. Woo! Therefore, my supply is unlimited. Let's unpack. Let's start with the big one. Money is not my supply. Say it with me. Money is not my supply. Say it again. Money is not my supply. Say it one more time. Money is not my supply. Money is an energy, a manifestation of energy, a three-dimensional form of energy. It is not the source, it is the result. It is not the root, it's the fruit. It is not the source, it is the result. Money is not my supply. Let me say that again. Money is not your supply, nor the lack thereof. The lack of money does not mean that you lack abundance, because you can always manifest and create money. I said it, and I'm not talking about no printing press. I don't want you going out here counterfeiting no bills. Because you're going to jail. But you can supernaturally create more money. You can attract and manifest more money. You can create more money, an abundance of money, an endless supply of money if you follow these instructions. You can't lose with the stuff I use, but you have to get it straight. Money is not your supply. Money is not your supply. Say it. It's not. It's not. You are still, Jesus is purported to have tried to explain this in the Gospels when he says, consider the lilies of the field. They don't toil, they don't work, they don't do anything. They just lay there and they bloom. And yet, he says, your heavenly Father takes care of all of them. Then he says, consider the birds of the air. They're not working and toiling and worrying and frustrated and filled with anxiety or anything else like that. He says, yet your heavenly Father makes sure that they have everything that they need. As a matter of fact, when he spoke about the lilies, he says, Solomon in all of his glory was never arrayed any more beautiful than these lilies. What he was trying to get you to understand is that the supply is limitless and infinite, and you, oh my goodness, yeah, that there is absolutely no need for you to worry or take thought or give concern or be anxiety ridden because there is an absence of money or an absence of stuff. But seek first the kingdom. Where is the kingdom? The kingdom of God is in you. Woo! And to be in right alignment with the kingdom, with the spirit world, with the laws that govern the kingdom, to walk in harmony and alignment with the laws that govern the kingdom, the Spirit of God within you, and all these things, he says, will be just added. Woo! You can create more money. You can create more money. You can manifest more money. You can attract money to you. Money is not your supply. No person, place, or condition is your supply. No person. Don't you ever think that you can't make it without this one, that one, or the other one. No person is your supply, not your financial supply, not your spiritual supply, not your emotional supply, not your physical supply. Did you hear what I said? Don't stop letting these preachers think that you can't make it without them. That if you break off the relationship with the prophet, if you leave this church, if you you gonna be cursed and you ain't gonna be able to make it, and you gonna be broke, busted, and disgusted. No person is your supply. Not your husband, not your wife, your boo, your baby, your girlfriend, boyfriend, your bae, your sneaky link, or whatever you want to call them. None of them are your supply. Not your sugar mama or your sugar daddy either. They are not your supply. Did you hear me? They are not. No person is your supply. No place is your supply, including your job. Your job is not your supply. Woo! I know I just shook you loose right there. Your job is not your supply. Your business is not your supply. It's not your supply. Your job, your business, no other place is your supply. Your city, your town, your state, your country, it is not your supply. No place is your supply. Your supply is not external. Your supply is internal. Whoa, we're getting to that. I don't want to get ahead of myself. But no person and no place or no condition is your supply. No condition. Whether you are happy, sad, whether you are hurt, crying, or whether you are laughing, giggling, no condition is your supply. Are you hearing me? Your supply is not external. Nothing outside of you is your supply. Nothing and no one outside of you is your supply. Did you hear what I said? When you make those things your supply in your mind, and that's all they are, because they're not really your supply. They can never be your supply. The only way they become your supply is they become a supply to you in your own conscious mind. You deceive yourself and create an illusion of them being your supply, but they're really not. But when you allow that delusion to become the dominant thought in your mind that I have to have this job, I can't make it without this business, I can't make it without this person, I can't make it without this feeling, then guess what? You become a cripple and a dependent. Now, the job can tell you anything and demand anything, and you're going to do it because you think that that's where your supply comes from. The person can tell you anything. They can manipulate, control, and force you to do whatever because you think they're your supply. I can't live without them. I can't make it. I can't be happy. I can never breathe again. I can't live. I can't sleep, baby. Don't want to go on, baby. This is my song, baby. Oh, that's right. Y'all canceled R. Kelly. I can't sing him up. Sing what I want to sing. But it's still stupid. No person is your supply. Of course you can go on. But when you have that in your mind, then they begin to manipulate and control. They can now dictate your behavior. They tell you when to show up, what time to be there, when you can go home, when you can have a lunch, when you can go to the bathroom, what you can wear, what you can't wear, what you can say, what you can't say, where you can go, where you cannot go. Because you think they are your supply. No person, no place, no condition is your supply. Well, what is my supply, Miles? I'm glad you asked that. The very next line tells you it is the Spirit of God within you and as you that is the source of your supply. Everything flows from within and then returns from without. Woo! Yes, everything begins, has its genesis. It is germinated from within, generated from within, emanates from within, and flows outwardly as vibrational frequency and energy that is then met by the universe and nature and returned to you in three-dimensional form. But it starts and ends with you. Yes, you are the source that you've been looking for. You're the help that you've been looking for. You are the way that you have been looking for. Are you hearing me? Because it is the Spirit of God within you, through you, and as you that is the source of your supply. That's where your supply is created. That's where the manifestation begins. It begins as the image, imagination, the concept, the idea within you, the desire that has the corresponding feelings that accelerate and magnetize it, and then it begins to return to you in three-dimensional form. You just walk right into it. You live in the middle of it. You swim in it. You are abiding in a place of abundance, an abundance of joy because you got joy within, an abundance of happiness because your happiness began within, an abundance of peace, an abundance of health, an abundance of money, an abundance of success, an abundance of opportunity, an abundance of strength and power, an abundance of insight, an abundance of wisdom, an abundance of knowledge, an abundance of talent, an abundance of gifting. All this abundance is in you, through you, as you. It is you, waiting to be released from you so it can manifest to you and for you. Are you hearing me? The Spirit of God within you and as you is the source. Not money, not a person, not a place, not a condition, not a thing, but the Spirit of God within you as you, that divine, omniscient, omnipresent, omnipotent, and omniactive, infinite, sovereign Spirit that is you, is the source. It is the source of your supply. It is the source of your supply. Do you understand that you radiate and have abundance rumbling and moving and coursing through every part of your being, every vein in your being? Abundance is rumbling and bubbling up inside of you. And when you insist on thinking, speaking, and acting in ways that align with want, need, lack, and scarcity, you are working against your very own nature. That's why you feel so frustrated and aggravated, and you find yourself saying, I know I'm better than this. I know this can't be my life. I know this is not where I'm supposed to be. I know that this is not, this don't even feel right. It don't feel right because it's not who you are. It goes against your very nature. It goes against who you are. You're creating an internal conflict. And so that internal conflict is manifested in the three-dimensional experience that you have. And it causes you more frustration. And so you saying silly stuff like, I take 2 steps forward and there's like 3 steps backwards. And don't nothing good happen for me. And every time something good happens, 5 other bad things happen. As soon as I get a little piece of money, then the car break down. Now I got to spend that to fix the car. And I'm just trying to make ends meet, trying to get along. I'm just trying to get enough money just to stay afloat, keeping my head above water. And I'm telling you, you are operating in a manner that is in conflict, that contradicts who you really are. You are constraining the abundance that you are and putting it in chains, because the Spirit of God within you, as you, is the source. You keep looking for it to come from the lottery and to come from a man and to come from a woman and to come from a career and to come from a job and come from a business and come from popularity and come from notoriety and come from fame. And it's not going to. All of those things are the added to. They're the byproduct. They're the result of recognizing the source that is within you. Let's keep going with it. The Spirit of God within me as me is the source of my supply. My awareness and understanding and knowledge of the all-providing activity of the divine mind within me is my supply. Listen, that's a mouthful, but let me unpack. We know what awareness, understanding, and knowledge, here it is, of the all-providing activity. All-providing activity of what? The divine mind, that is the Spirit of God within me, the God mind, the Christ consciousness, is the source of my supply. All-providing activity, omni-active. As I've said to you several times before, consciously or unconsciously, you are always creating. In every single moment of your being, in the moment you are creating the next moment that you will live in and experience. You are consciously, intentionally, deliberately, or unconsciously, obliviously creating. You are always creating. That spirit within you is omniactive, always building, creating, always pulling together the essence, the pieces, the particles, the elements that are necessary to give you a three-dimensional representation of what has been your most dominant thought, words, and deeds. It is always creating. So when you begin to be intentional about what you are creating, deliberate about what you're creating, is when you become conscious, aware, understand, and have knowledge of that all-providing activity of the divine mind. The omni-activeness inside, when you become aware of it, you can become intentional about it. Let me say it again. Once you are aware of it, then you can become intentional or deliberate about it. Instead of just allowing life to happen to you, you can start creating the life that you want. Creating the experiences you want to have. You create them conceptually in the divine mind, and then you experience them, you have them experientially in three-dimensional form. You are always in a constant state of creation. Constantly. The only question is whether you're doing it consciously or unconsciously, intentionally or haphazardly. That is the source. That is your supply. That determines what you get. There's an old saying, what you see is what you get. They're talking external. I'm talking internal. What you see is what you get. What do you see within your divine mind? What do you see with your third eye? What do you see in your spirit, in your being? What are you imagining? Because if you can imagine it, if you can conceive it, then the divine mind is always actively working to create, to give you a three-dimensional representation of what you have conceived. Your consciousness of this truth is unlimited. Therefore, your supply is unlimited. Your awareness, your consciousness, your knowledge, your wisdom, your understanding of this truth is limitless. The more you the further you go in it, the more you dig into it, the further you will go and the deeper you will go, because there is no bottom. And since there is no bottom of the knowledge, the understanding, the wisdom, the awareness, that means there is no bottom to the supply either. There is an endless, infinite, limitless supply of everything. I'm knocking stuff over. Of everything. Everything. There is no shortage at all. Are you understanding what I'm saying? Yes? Which leads me to the third principle that we'll cover tonight. Oh, I'm already over time. All right, just hang with me a few more minutes. Number 6, which is my inner supply instantly and constantly takes on form and experience according to my essentials and my desires, and as the principle of supply in action. It is impossible, listen, it is impossible for me to have any need, want, lack, scarcity, or unfulfilled desires. Can God ever desire anything and not have it? The fact that God desires it causes it to be. There is no unfulfilled desire with God, because if God desires it, it is. Well, you are the three-dimensional representation of God in the earth. You are God manifested in the flesh. You are an animated expression of God in the earth. You are God and divinity in jeans and a t-shirt. You are God personified in a three-dimensional form. Therefore, you are abundance in animated form, three-dimensional form, earthly three-dimensional form. You are God personified. You are abundance personified. Therefore, it is impossible for you to have unfulfilled desires. Need, want, lack, scarcity are all an illusion, delusion created within your mind, given to you by your mama, your daddy, your cousin, them, your religion, your culture, your environment, and reinforced by you, by your repetitive conversation and thoughts about not having and not having enough and can't afford and I don't have and I lack and I want. But it's an illusion. It's a mist. It's a dust. It doesn't really exist. It's a ghost. Your inner supply instantly and constantly takes on form and experience according to your essentials and your desires. Whatever is essential to your existence instantly and constantly takes on form and experience. Whatever is essential for your three-dimensional existence. You don't have to sit and conjure up breath and air and the functions of your human body. Instantly and constantly, they take form in experience according to what is essential for you, but not just your essentials, your desires. Whatever you desire, you can experience. And as the principle of supply in action, it is impossible. It is impossible. Say it. It's impossible for me to have need, want, lack, and scarcity or unfulfilled desire. It's impossible. What does God, I hate to hear people talking about, and God needs somebody to do this, and God need, and God, how can God have a need? God, who is all powerful, omnipotent, omniscient, omniactive, the fact that God would desire it causes it to be. How can there be a need? How can there be a want? How can there be a lack or scarcity? How can there be? There is no need or want or lack or scarcity with God. And so therefore, there is no need, want, lack, or scarcity with you. It's impossible for you to have a need. It's impossible for you to have lack. It's impossible for you to have scarcity unless you create it. There's no limit to your creatorial ability and power. So you can create need and want and lack and scarcity, and you do all the time with your thoughts, words, and deeds. But they're not real. They are an delusionary creation that you came up with, imposed upon you by environment, culture, family, friends, religion. But when you know better, you got to start doing better. Don't nobody love me. Okay, nobody will love you. Don't nobody care about how I feel. Okay, then nobody will care how you feel. You're creating it. I don't have no friends. Okay, you will have no friends. You created it. You are creating it. It doesn't mean that literally no one loves you, no one cares about you, that no one is your friend. It just means that you have created that by the delusion that's within your own conscious mind. And so you think, speak, and act as though you have no friends and no one loves you. You're walking around in a mental state of your own creation. Are you hearing what I'm saying? Okay? Your inner supply always, instantly, and constantly takes on form. Remember, the Spirit of God within you is the source. The Spirit of God within you and as you is the source. And it is constantly creating. We just talked about that. And at the moment of creation, it is instantly and constantly, it takes on form and experience. You begin to either have it in tangible form that you can see, touch, taste, and handle, and smell, and taste, and hear, or you experience it mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. Are you hearing me? But if you take that and you are intentional, take this knowledge, take this understanding of this principle, and are intentional and deliberate about making sure that I am instantly and constantly creating what I desire, then the principle of supply and action, the principle of supply rather, will be in action and will give you a three-dimensional representation of that which you desire. It is impossible. It is impossible for you to have need, want, lack, scarcity, and unfulfilled desires. All right, I'm 10 minutes over my time. Sunday, we'll go over the last four principles. And then next Thursday, 6:30 a.m., we'll begin 90 Days of Abundance. Woo, I'm excited. I'm so excited about this. I haven't been this excited in a really long time. I am so excited because I know that there are at least a handful of you that are going to actually apply these principles and take this journey with me. And I'm excited to see the outcomes of what's going to happen in your life. It's going to be revolutionary. A revolutionary change in your life. Okay. All right. Let me get up off of here. If you'd like to express your appreciation by giving, you can do so by using the information that's on your screen right now. You can use the Cashapp or Zelle. I appreciate whatever you give. You don't have to give. You're not required to give or anything else like that. And money's not going to come raining down from the sky because you do give. It is an opportunity for you to express your love, your appreciation, and your support for what you are receiving. And it's right for you to do, but it's your choice. If you choose to give, go ahead and take your phone right now and do it while you're thinking about it, while it's in the front of your mind, and send your gift today. And we will greatly appreciate it. And we thank you for your generosity. I'll see you back here on Sunday morning at 9 a.m. Please be on time. You don't want to miss it. We're going to cover the last 4 principles before we launch, yes, into the 90 days of abundance. And again, reminding you that if you would like a copy of the instructions, then you need to shoot me an inbox or shoot me an email. If you inbox me, make sure you include your email address, and I will send it out to you as soon as I possibly can. I'll send out those instructions, but remember that the video is up as well. You can go back and re-listen to the video, part 1, that gives you the details, instructions. If you've missed any one of the principles, that those videos are up as well, part 2, and tonight is part 3. You can go back and re-listen to them, replay them, so that you get that in your mind as well. Okay, Sunday will be the last 4 of those 10 principles. The last 4. All right. Sunday morning, 9 a.m. I hope to see you there. Invite your friends, your cousins, your brothers, your mom and them, your cousin them, all the rest of them. Invite them to come over and be a part of the conversation with us. Have a wonderful, outstanding night, and I'll see you again real soon.